You should be grateful I even let you sit at this table. That's what she said to me in front of everyone. Her son, my husband, didn't even blink. His sisters smiled like it was just a joke. And me? I just nodded and went back to the kitchen to bring out another platter. My name is Maya. I'm 28. I've been married to David for 3 years, and from day one, I knew his mother would be a problem. But I thought that if I was patient, if I was kind, if I cooked her favorite meals and smiled through her comments, eventually she'd accept me. I was wrong. It started small. Comments like, "Oh, you're making chicken again," or "David used to love the way I made this," or "Interesting choice of dress for a family dinner." I swallowed it all. I told myself she was just protective of her son, that she'd warm up to me eventually. But with every passing month, she tested me a little more. She'd show up at our place without calling, walk straight into the bedroom and rearrange my closet because it was a mess. She'd tell David that I clearly didn't know how to take care of a home, and he'd just shrug and say, "That's just how she is, babe." The worst part wasn't even what she said. It was how she said it, always with that smile. That sweet, polite tone that made it impossible to call her out without looking like the villain. If I said anything, I'd be the disrespectful daughter-in-law, the ungrateful one, the one who didn't appreciate family. So I kept quiet. I kept serving. I kept smiling. Then came Thanksgiving. She called me 3 weeks before and said, "I'll be hosting at your house this year." Not asking, telling. I tried to explain that our place was small, that maybe we could do it at her house like we always did, but she cut me off. David already said yes. And honestly, Maya, it's about time you learned how to host a proper family gathering. I'll guide you through it. Guide me. Like I was a child. I should have said no right there. But David looked at me with those tired eyes and said, "Please, babe, just this once. Let's not make it a thing." So I agreed. I agreed to host Thanksgiving for 15 people in our tiny apartment. I agreed to cook for 2 days straight. I agreed to let her walk into my home and treat it like hers. The menu was hers. The decorations were hers. Even the seating arrangement was hers. I was just the help. 2 days before Thanksgiving, she showed up with bags of groceries. Expensive stuff. Organic turkey, imported wine, fancy cheeses, the works. She dropped everything on my counter and said, "I already paid for it all, don't worry. You just focus on cooking. I'll handle the rest." I thanked her. I actually thanked her. The day of Thanksgiving, I woke up at 5 in the morning. I prepped the turkey, made 3 different sides, baked 2 pies from scratch, set the table exactly how she wanted. My feet were aching. My back was killing me. But I kept going because I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted her to see that I could do this, that I was good enough. People started arriving around too. His aunts, his uncles, his cousins, his sisters. Everyone hugged her first. Everyone complimented her on such a beautiful Thanksgiving. She smiled and said, "Well, I did most of the planning, but Maya helped in the kitchen." Helped. Like I was her assistant. Dinner was served at 4. I brought out dish after dish, plate after plate. Everyone was impressed. "This turkey is incredible. These mashed potatoes are amazing. Who made this stuffing?" And every single time she'd smile and say, "Oh, it's my recipe. I've been making it for 30 years. My recipe, my hands, her credit. David noticed I was quiet. He squeezed my hand under the table and whispered, "Thank you for doing this." I squeezed back and said nothing. Then came dessert. I brought out the pies, pumpkin and pecan, both made from scratch. His aunt took a bite and practically moaned. "This is the best pecan pie I've ever had. Where did you get it?" Before I could answer, my mother-in-law laughed and said, "I have my secrets." His aunt pressed her. "No, really. Did you make this or buy it? Because if you bought it, I need to know where." And that's when she said it, looking right at me with that smile. Well, Maya helped, but let's be honest, she's still learning. I had to walk her through most of it. I felt my jaw tighten, but I smiled. I nodded. I stood up and started clearing plates. That's when his sister asked the question that changed everything. "Hey, Mom, did you end up using your credit card for all the groceries? Because I saw the receipt on the counter and it looked like a lot." My mother-in-law waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, don't worry about it. I took care of everything. It's what mothers do." His sister picked up the receipt. I watched her eyes scan it. Then she looked at me, then back at the receipt. "Mom, this receipt says Maya's name on it." The table went quiet. My mother-in-law laughed nervously. "Well, yes, technically it's on her card. But I'm the one who—" "Wait." David's voice cut through. He reached for the receipt. His face changed as he read it. "This is almost $800. I stayed silent. I stayed very still. Maya? He looked at me. Did you pay for all of this? I glanced at my mother-in-law. She looked uncomfortable for the first time all night. Well, I mean, she offered to. I didn't offer anything, I said quietly. My voice was steady, calm. She used my card, the one we keep in the kitchen drawer for groceries. I didn't even know until I checked my bank account this morning. You could hear a fork drop. David stared at his mother. You took her card without asking? I was going to pay her back, she said quickly. I just didn't have my wallet with me when I went shopping, and I knew she wouldn't mind. You knew I wouldn't mind? I interrupted. My voice was still calm, deadly calm. Or you knew I wouldn't say anything because I never do? Her face went red. I don't appreciate your tone. And I don't appreciate being treated like the help in my own home. I stood up. Every eye was on me. I don't appreciate cooking for 2 days straight while you take credit for every dish. I don't appreciate you walking into my house like you own it. And I definitely don't appreciate you stealing my credit card to throw yourself a party and then telling everyone you paid for it. I did not steal. You took something that wasn't yours without permission. What do you call that? The room was dead silent. David's sisters looked at each other. His aunts looked down at their plates. His mother's mouth opened and closed like a fish. You know what the worst part is? I continued. I would have been happy to pay. I would have been happy to host. I would have been happy to do all of this if you had just asked. If you had just treated me like family instead of like some servant who should be grateful to be here. Maya, David started. No. I looked at him. Your mother just said I should be grateful to sit at this table, in my house, that I pay rent for, that I cleaned for 2 days, that I cooked every single dish for. And she said it like she was doing me a favor. I turned back to his mother. She looked smaller now, shrunk into her chair. You can stay and finish your dessert, I said calmly. But after today, if you want to come into my home, you call first. You ask first. And you treat me with the same respect you'd want from me. Because I'm done being quiet. I'm done being grateful for crumbs. I walked into the bedroom and closed the door. My hands were shaking, but I felt lighter than I had in 3 years. I heard voices in the living room, muffled arguing. David's voice raised, his mother's voice defensive. Then I heard the front door open and close, multiple times, people leaving. 20 minutes later, David knocked on the bedroom door. I opened it. He looked exhausted. Everyone left, he said. My mom's upset. My sisters are texting me. And? I asked. And? He took a breath. You were right. I'm sorry. I should have said something a long time ago. I nodded. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just nodded. She wants to talk to you, he said. She's still in the living room. I walked out. She was sitting on the couch, arms crossed, looking out the window. When she heard me, she turned. Her eyes were red but dry. I didn't mean to, she started. Yes, you did, I said simply. You've been doing this since the day we met. Every comment, every backhanded compliment, every time you walked in here without knocking. You meant all of it. She looked away. For a moment I thought she'd argue, but she didn't. She just sat there. I'm not asking you to love me, I said. I'm not even asking you to like me, but I am asking you to respect me. If you can't do that, then we don't need to do this anymore. No more dinners, no more holidays. You can have a relationship with your son, but you won't have one with me. She finally looked at me, really looked at me. I just wanted the best for him. And you don't think I am? She didn't answer, but something in her face shifted, just slightly. I'll pay you back, she said quietly, for the groceries. I don't want your money, I said. I want your respect. She stood up slowly, grabbed her purse, and walked to the door. Before leaving, she paused. I'll call next time. It wasn't an apology, but it was something. After she left, I went back to the kitchen. The dishes were still piled in the sink. The leftover food was still on the counter. And for the first time all day, I smiled. Not the fake smile I'd been wearing, a real one. David came up behind me and wrapped his arms around my waist. I'm proud of you, he whispered. I'm proud of me too, I said. If you've ever been in a situation like this where you had to choose between keeping the peace and keeping your dignity, you know how hard that moment is. You know how much it costs to finally speak up. Tell me in the comments. Would you have done the same? The next morning, I woke up to 17 text messages. Most were from David's family. His aunt saying I was brave, his younger sister saying she always knew mom was too much, his older sister saying I embarrassed the family, his cousin asking if I was okay, and one from his mother. Just 3 words. We need to talk. I didn't respond to any of them. I made coffee, sat on the couch, and stared at my phone like it was a bomb about to go off. David was still asleep. The apartment was quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator and the occasional car passing outside. I felt exhausted, but also strangely awake. Like I'd been sleepwalking for 3 years and finally opened my eyes. The thing about standing up for yourself is that nobody tells you what comes after. They don't tell you about the guilt that creeps in at 3 a.m, the voice that whispers, maybe you overreacted, or maybe you should have just let it go. They don't tell you that even when you're right, even when you're justified, it still feels like you broke something that can't be fixed. But I also knew I couldn't go back. Not after what I said. Not after what she heard. David woke up around 10. He came into the living room, saw me staring at my phone, and sat down next to me without saying anything. We stayed like that for a while, just sitting, just breathing. She texted me too, he finally said. She wants to come over and talk. What did you say? I said it's up to you. I appreciated that. I appreciated that he didn't try to fix it or smooth it over or tell me I had to forgive her because she's family. He just let it be my choice. Not today, I said. Maybe not this week. I need time. He nodded. Okay. But time doesn't stop for feelings. By Monday, I was back at work, pretending like nothing happened. My coworkers asked how my Thanksgiving was, and I just smiled and said, it was fine. I wasn't ready to unpack that story in the break room over bad coffee. I wasn't ready to be the woman with mother-in-law drama, so I kept it to myself and buried it under deadlines and emails and meetings. But David's family didn't give me that option. By Tuesday, his older sister called him demanding I apologize. She said I humiliated their mother, that I ruined Thanksgiving, that I was disrespectful and out of line. David told her to mind her business. She hung up on him. By Wednesday, his mother showed up at our apartment, unannounced, again. I was working from home on a Zoom call with my boss when I heard the doorbell ring, then knock, then ring again. I muted myself, walked to the door, and looked through the peephole. It was her. My heart dropped. Part of me wanted to pretend I wasn't home, but I knew she'd just keep coming back. So I ended my call early, took a deep breath, and opened the door. She looked different, smaller somehow. Her hair wasn't done. No makeup. She was holding a Tupperware container with what looked like leftovers from Thanksgiving. I brought you some turkey, she said quietly. Like that was supposed to fix everything. I didn't move. I didn't invite her in. I just stood there in the doorway with my arms crossed. Can we talk? She asked. You said we needed to talk. So talk. She glanced past me into the apartment like she was hoping David would appear and save her from this conversation. He didn't. He was at work. It was just me and her. I'm sorry, she said. It came out stiff, forced, like she'd rehearsed it in the car on the way over. For what? I asked. I wasn't trying to be difficult. I genuinely wanted to know if she understood what she was apologizing for. She blinked. For using your card without asking. That's it? Her jaw tightened. What do you want me to say, Maya? I want you to say what you actually mean, not what you think I want to hear. She looked down at the Tupperware in her hands. For a long moment, she didn't say anything. Then quietly, almost too quiet to hear, she said, I didn't think you'd last. I felt my stomach twist. What? When David brought you home, she continued, still not looking at me. I didn't think you'd last. I thought you were just another girl he'd date for a few months and then move on. So I didn't bother getting to know you. I didn't bother trying. And then you got married and I realized I was wrong, but by then I didn't know how to fix it. So I just kept doing what I always did. I kept treating you like you were temporary. I didn't know what to say. I didn't expect that. I expected excuses, deflection, blame. I didn't expect honesty. That's not an excuse, she added quickly. I know it's not. I know I was wrong. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to be a mother-in-law to someone who isn't. She trailed off, but I knew what she was going to say. Someone who isn't like her. Someone who isn't from her world. Someone who doesn't look like her family. I'm light-skinned, but I'm still black. And David's family is white. Midwestern white. The kind of white where they say they don't see color, but also ask if they can touch your hair. The kind of white where they voted for Obama so they think they're progressive, but also lock their car doors in certain neighborhoods. I knew from the beginning that I'd have to work twice as hard to be accepted. I knew I'd have to smile through comments and prove myself over and over. I just didn't think it would be this exhausting. You don't have to be anything, I said finally. You just have to be decent. You just have to treat me like a person. Not a threat, not competition, Not some girl who's temporary, just a person who loves your son and is trying to build a life with him. She finally looked up at me. Her eyes were wet. I do want to try, she said. I just don't know if I know how. Then learn, I said. Not harshly, just honestly. You learned how to be a mom. You learned how to be a wife. You can learn how to be a mother-in-law who doesn't make everything a power struggle. She nodded slowly. Then she held out the Tupperware. Do you want this? I know it's weird to bring leftovers from a dinner I ruined, but I didn't know what else to do. I almost laughed. It was such an absurd gesture, but I took it anyway. Thank you. Can I come in? She asked. I thought about it. Really thought about it. Part of me wanted to say no, wanted to keep this boundary firm, but another part of me knew that if I wanted this to get better, I had to give her a chance to try. Okay, I said, stepping aside. But if you rearrange anything in my closet, I'm changing the locks again. She smiled. A real smile. Small, but real. Deal. We sat in the living room. Awkward at first. She kept fidgeting with her rings. I kept sipping my coffee even though it had gone cold. We talked about nothing for a while. The weather, the holidays coming up, traffic, safe topics. Then she asked, Did you really cook all of that yourself? Every dish, I said. The pecan pie too? From scratch. My grandmother's recipe. She looked genuinely impressed. I should have said that. At dinner, I should have given you credit. Yes, you should have. She nodded. I was jealous. That caught me off guard. Jealous? Of how good it was. Of how everyone loved it. Of how you didn't need me to make it perfect. She laughed bitterly. That's pathetic, isn't it? It's honest, I said. We sat in silence again. But this time it felt different. Less tense. More like two people trying to figure out how to be in the same room without armor. I'll pay you back, she said again. For the groceries. I told you I don't want your money. I know, but I'm going to pay you back anyway. Because it's the right thing to do. I didn't argue. Okay. She stayed for another 20 minutes. We didn't solve everything. We didn't hug and cry and suddenly become best friends. But something shifted. Something small but important. When she left, she paused at the door again. I'll call next time, before I come over. I'd appreciate that. She nodded and walked out. I closed the door and leaned against it. I felt exhausted, emotionally wrung out, but also relieved. Like maybe this could actually get better. Maybe. David came home that evening and I told him everything. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he kissed my forehead and said, I'm sorry you had to do that alone. I wasn't alone, I said. You backed me up when it mattered. I should have backed you up sooner. Yeah, you should have. But you did eventually. That counts for something. Over the next few weeks, things were different. His mother started calling before she visited. She started asking instead of telling. She complimented my cooking without taking credit. She even asked for my pecan pie recipe, and when I gave it to her, she actually thanked me. It was strange, unfamiliar, but good. Christmas came around and she asked if we wanted to host again. I said no, not because I was being petty, but because I wasn't ready. She understood. We went to her house instead. And when dinner was served, she made sure to tell everyone that I made the sweet potato casserole. She said it in front of everyone, gave me full credit. It was a small thing, but it meant everything. David's older sister was still cold to me. She barely spoke during dinner. At one point, she made a comment about how some people just can't take a joke, and I knew she was talking about me. I didn't engage, I just smiled and kept eating. I didn't need her approval. I had my husband's support and his mother's respect. That was enough. After dinner, David's mom pulled me aside into the kitchen. I know this hasn't been easy, she said, and I know I made it harder than it needed to be. But I want you to know that I see you now. I see how much you love my son. I see how hard you try. And I'm grateful you didn't give up on us. I felt my throat tighten. I almost did. I know, she said. I wouldn't have blamed you if you had. We hugged. It was awkward and stiff at first, but then it softened. And for the first time since I'd known her, it felt real. Driving home that night, David reached over and squeezed my hand. You okay? Yeah, I said. And I meant it. I'm okay. Looking back now, I don't regret what I said at Thanksgiving. I don't regret standing up for myself even though it was uncomfortable and messy and painful. Because the truth is, you can't build a relationship on silence. You can't build respect on swallowing every hurt and pretending it doesn't matter. At some point, you have to speak. You have to draw the line. You have to say, this is who I am, and this is what I deserve. and then stand firm in that truth even when people push back. My mother-in-law and I aren't best friends. We probably never will be. But we're learning how to be family. Real family. The kind built on honesty instead of performance. And that's worth more than 1,000 perfect Thanksgivings where I smile through the pain and pretend everything is fine. If you've ever been in a situation where you had to choose between keeping the peace and keeping your dignity, you already know how heavy that choice feels. You know how much courage it takes to finally say enough. But you also know that once you do, once you stand up and claim your space, everything changes. Not always for the better at first. But eventually, if the people around you truly love you, they'll rise to meet you where you are. And if they don't, then you'll know exactly where you stand. And that clarity, as painful as it is its own kind of freedom. So tell me, have you ever had a moment like this? A moment where you had to choose yourself even when it meant rocking the boat? What did you do? How did it turn out? I'd love to hear your story in the comments.